can keep trying. Yeah, no, that's actually the fucking one. I knew it was a bit fucking off. All right, that's fine. We got a light version. We got a dark version. Dark version goes with the black top. Sweet. Yeah, yellow's not really popular. I don't know why I chose it. Um, considering how much I hate the color orange, right? So I don't know why, but originally when I first drew her, I drew her with the what you call it, the whole yellow and the blue, and it was actually orange, yellow and orange and stuff. And the colors have moved around all over the place, all over the time and stuff. And so it's very hard to pick what's supposed to be what. Like I'm not even sure what color her shoes are supposed to be in this day and age. I actually don't remember. I'm gonna have to do some reference images to figure out when I start painting her feet. So I'm probably not going to even fuck with those yet. But like socks are always white, um, ribbons always red, shit like that. Some of it's easy. I don't know, they're just random ass colors that I decided to choose when I was younger. Alright. So this is basically most of this. Like I said, once you've got the lines and stuff for this stuff, it can actually go quite quickly. I guess the only hard part with this is figuring out where the fuck to put that line. I haven't even put in hair and stuff, hair color and stuff. Ah, get back in the little spot. Every so often, this box fucking pops out, and it makes it really fucking annoying. Oops, I want an eraser. Because that's what you do. Ah, come on. Come on, you could do better than that. Yeah, that one's right. Oh, I didn't even realize that it was like, what you call it? Midnight. I love this song so much. Yeah, no, it's all good. Thanks for coming and visiting. I'll catch you next time, Shadow. Actually, don't know the integrity of that line, actually. I don't need to take these out, but it does make less shit for me to select and less chances of dots being in the way. Later. Yeah. I pretty much got to figure out where the fuck that line is, but it doesn't matter too much because this will go in behind. It ends up going in behind the hair layer, so it doesn't really matter too much. I can pretty much just do it like that. And as shit as that looks, it doesn't really matter because essentially once I put all the lines back on, not that one, where'd the end lines go? I probably just edited that one without. That's only. That's hairlines. And this is why I have multiples of these. Honestly. Yeah, essentially once that goes on properly, all of this hair, this ribbon part back here won't even be visible, so it doesn't really matter too much. You want to smooth it out though. Wrong layer. we go. Uh, See, this is what I'm trying to avoid. Um, that's why I tend to like remove the extra lines so I don't have this shit to deal with. There we go. And this crap. It doesn't matter too much, but essentially once this ends up being fully cleaned up, it will matter a lot more because it will show through if there's a hole missing or something. Oh yeah, see you on VR chat earlier today. I was watching one of my streamers that I watched, Sephora, got raided by who the fuck was it? Something fluffy. And she was doing mostly VR stuff. It was pretty interesting. They're also trying to get their whatever it is, their Quest VR goggles or something like that set up. You left because you're very awkward. Uh it must be pretty difficult to try to like get into a room and like start chatting with people, especially once you're into VR. You end up having I'll turn that down a bit. I'll turn it down my head. That'll be fine. Yeah, when you're in VR and stuff, it's not that far removed from actually being in an actual social environment sort of thing. Because essentially you've got people moving around and stuff like that, especially if it's good VR. All right, here's next. Duplicate you and make sure you're fucking duplicated. Jesus. I know, I'd love to get into VR someday. That's like way, way down the line for me. Because basically, like, I have a few games that I play pretty consistently. And I've got a few that I kind of want on my list to play. No, it goes above that. But yeah, it essentially is like I'll have like various games and stuff like that. But VR, if I was going to do VR, I would want to have me in there, and because I don't know, I wouldn't feel connected to any kind of other kind of avatar, and I just feel like if I did bring in a different kind of avatar, I'd be dealing with like I don't know, I guess a disconnect between myself in that. I don't know how to say it very well. I think the thing is like at least as far as I can say for like my group of people and stuff like that, we're all pretty like nice and accepting and stuff. Like if you don't know what to do, Nightwolf's usually like running around or sleeping and stuff, and you can give him pats or just chill with him. Um, so that often helps like break the tension and stuff of the room. I believe he was only just falling asleep before, actually. But sometimes people like give him food and drinks and all sorts of stuff. It's quite nice. Plus, I remember you did mention that you kind of like have the whole jump into things, throw down the pickup line and like leave. So, I mean, if that's what you're more commonly used to doing, it does make it a little bit harder to actually sit there and do the social. I'm gonna have to make up a fake backline here for where her hair actually does swoop to. Hey, fine, I'll figure it out. I don't need most of her face, but I'll need to layer. See how I go? I'll need to layer her fringe over her face and shit, so I won't stress too much. Leave where her ear is. I'll figure it out. I just want a few cues on her face for where I've got to put shit. I don't need a lot. About there. The rest of this shit can go. I definitely know a lot of people do not draw this way. If you're trying to learn how to draw, I'm probably not the person to be watching. But I do find it very interesting that whether it be playing a game, drawing something, or just like yammering on about something, I tend to inspire people to do stuff. I find that very interesting. It's something that like I get in person, and to get the same kind of effect here online is very fascinating to me. All right, so it's not really like back hair there. I don't want it to be a 1. I want it to be about a 3. And by look of it, gotta kind of swoop up in here, there, from there. I'll do it. And this one's harder. So I gotta figure out where the fuck it swoops down from. Funny thing is, I'm pretty sure in 2001, 2011, I think this is from 2011, right? So this is when like my hair was really at its fucking longest too, so not too bad. So yeah, at the moment, like my avatar and stuff like that, hair's down to like elbows and stuff. Most of the time, that is where my hair stays. That gets shitty in that part of it. Yeah, they'll do it. Yeah, my hair's usually somewhere down around like my elbows and shit. Um, there we go. That'd be about the line to kind of swoop that. It doesn't really matter because it's going in behind the body, but it matters in some way because the channel avatar that I've got for streaming and stuff, I never finished the center part of her hair, so it ends up looking like it swoops unusually. And it actually doesn't like swoop down to like a point like that. There we go, something like that. Yeah, alright, they'll do it. Pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I think with my channel image avatar and stuff like that, I kind of wish that I have taken the extra step to like make the center of her hair fall down to a central point like this one does, because that's where her hair actually does. Not my hair fucking does. My hair's not that fucking thick though. I wish. That's the only problem with having anemia that I've found. I don't give a shit about fainting. I can deal with fainting. It's the occasional, like, when I'm really low on iron, I occasionally, like, have, like, not a lot of my hair fall out or whatever, but, like, a lot of it brushes out and it stays really thin for quite a while. So my hair's always, like, relatively thin, which I guess is why I choose to have her have so much more lush, thicker hair. Like my current avatar has like relatively correct thickness hair, which is nice. As for this one, this is like way back in 2011 when my hair was actually doing fucking glorious. And it was kind of like, yep, all right, let's get this a little bit there. There. Sweet. I can get rid of this bit. This bit that I'm removing at the moment is part of a fringe, and I can put that in later because it has to go over the top of her skin and back hair layer. So this ends up being like her background sort of thing is behind her, whereas her fringe and stuff will sit in front. So it's more important that I get that layered where it's supposed to be. I used to try to put it all on the same layer and then clean up skin and stuff underneath. But in all honesty, it just makes it kind of shitty looking. Makes it hard to edit stuff. It's hard to improve things. Like I said, every so often I learn a new technique and I bring it in, like that whole selecting the whole area and filling it in with color and stuff is so great. For ages I couldn't do that. I actually kind of needed this to sort of stay there a bit because, well, it doesn't really matter. This goes in behind the skin layer anyway. So that's fine. I'm going behind skin and shirts and all that. So, yeah. I could have just not put this little part up here. Yeah, this one's behind skin. I'll probably have to, like, fix up. No, I won't, actually. I was going to say I'll have to fix up, like, where her, where her skin line is, but fuck that. I'll do that later. This part, though, actually does not need to have ear sticking out. That'll be for fringe issue. Sometimes I get this shit mixed up and then I have to deal with it later and it's a fucking nightmare. Like, figuring out where the lines here are supposed to go at the moment. That's kind of a bit of a nightmare. I don't want to be going up. Holy shit. I was slowly counting up there. Okay. So this is a gap. Oh god, this is the hard part with the way that I draw. Trying to figure out, does the hair flow down or does it not? Because if it does, it changes how the style sort of sits a little bit. Not quite. Actually, yeah, that's more of it there. This will go down to like a point sort of thing. Hair doesn't really come down to a general flat, but whatever. I could take it like that. Yeah, all right. I'll tell you what, though, my hip's starting to fucking hurt. Familiar? Like the good side, the good hip. Everything else is mostly doing okay. Let's go up like that. I'll see how this looks after I've done it and see what I think. Sometimes I do this and it looks like absolute shit and then I've got to deal with it later. I got to get this down to one line in here. Kind of fix this. Something like that. All right. That one could be more apart than that. And that could be more of a point. All right. Hold on. That one's fine. I think I'll make that more of a swoop upwards. Going the wrong way now. Okay, all right. This is, like I said, this is the hard part about like interpreting where lines and shit are supposed to go from over a decade back. Not quite. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, something like that will do it. Makes it a bit longer, lines don't go down to it, but it's fine. This one I actually think would benefit from being more a separate line like that kind of thing. Fucking hell, voice. My voice has been going so hard tonight. Jeez. Not sure what its problem is. Hold up. And see if that really didn't improve it. It's all right. I don't need to talk that much. Let's see if I can get rid of this line here. See how it looks. Yeah, kind of. Kind of more to a point. Like that. Nice. All right, that works better. This one is still just a line coming off it. So it's like that, pretty much. Whoops. Not quite. Something like that. Now this one, I tried swooping it and that didn't work. So what if I brought it up that way? Like that. Sort of. Something like that will do. Yeah, that is better. I hate trying to fill in the gaps for stuff like this when I draw something that's definitely more an unusual style of ending hair, it can be fucking frustrating. Like this part here, I do feel like that needs to swoop just a bit thicker to this. Like that, pretty much. Mm, yeah, actually. Kind of works. Get rid of all this line shit here so we can, like, get stuff into places. Yeah, pretty much. That's more or less what I'm kind of going for. That. Nice. Alright. Time to deal with fucking selecting the lines now. Well, not the whole page, just this. It'd be hard to figure out if I've got all the fucking lines because some of them are brown and some of them are black. It just makes it a little bit easier when I'm trying to add on an extra bit of line that hasn't existed there before. I should have removed these inner lines a bit more. It would have made it easier. Doesn't matter. Alright, I think that's all of it, plus the inside. Theoretically, except for down here. Hold on. That might not be selected. These might not be selected. Those are going to be hard to figure out if I've got them or not. Right. And that. I'll miss a couple of bits in there, but most part is I think I've got most of them. Yeah, there'll be a lot of like little inner lines I can't fucking fix up. Yeah, alright, that's fine. They'll work. Let's get out the big brush. Cool. Now I've got to deal with the tiny ass fucking lines down there. All this shit. And I'm going to need my actual lines on to be able to figure out where I'm going. Yeah. Let's take it down to 1. I've got more control over what I'm doing here. I could probably work with a 2 dot, but it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter. Makes very little difference. Ugh. Yeah, I'm going to have to do so much fucking research to figure out what color her actual fucking shoes were. Because I've got no clue, eh? It's been so long since I actually drew her shoes. The funny thing is, well, okay, the biggest thing that I get told from other people that are trying to draw, for instance, let's get these color layers all up and stuff. Well, that's it with the black top. The bow and stuff is going to need to be behind the shirt. Yeah, behind the shirts, not the skirt, shirt, and ribbon can be up there. All right, so if I had, say, that combination, that would be closer to what I've got, plus skin, hair would have to be behind that. Okay, so that's where the problem with this comes in, where I need to actually bring in her fringe to get that where it's supposed to be with the brown, but I can do that in a second. Yeah. That would be if I was using the colors that I currently have on myself. If I was to remove that, it would be more like this. So much, much brighter. But yeah, I'll do her fringe in a second. And then I'll see how we're going for time after that for other things. I don't know what I'm going to do with that star yet. I don't know if I'm going to put the second layer inside of it or what. I probably will. I might fuck around and put like her nails on and shit. Let's do that hair first. I might as well keep the layers up so I can see where I'm doing this. Let's see. The only problem with this is when I do end up going, not that, when I do end up bringing this forwards and I try to do shadows and lights on her actual back hair, the like main part of like the length of her hair, I get the problem where I've got to marry up the areas up here. And that's really fucking frustrating. Let's see. I would just say fringe. I don't give a shit if it's spelled right, people. If something I spell is not right, it's good enough. So we want that to be in front of that. It's going to be in front of the ribbons. Yeah, all right. That should be the correct layer. Now this, basically want that off. That, I actually probably wanted the fringe layer more than anything there, but that's fine. I can work with it. Because I'll actually need to, hold up, down the back layers. I'm probably going to need some guidance with this, with the actual template. Turn off all the other stuff so I don't merge anything later by accident. All right, fringe. I pretty much need to remove most of her lines for this. You could do better than that. All right. Oops, that actually took out a fringe then. I need to actually remember to leave her fringe behind. All right, that's good enough for the moment. And take down some more lines and shit. Like, I don't need this back area. That can go. That can go. That's part of the back area. That can go. The ear can go. I think all of this is mostly not that layer. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the front and the back layer that had the lines on it for her fringe, and I'm going to merge them since I clean this up a little bit more. Things like this. All right. Okay, if I turned that one off and I saw this one, yep, those two get merged. Yep, merge them. Oh, fuck, it had that layer on. Of course it did. All right, let's turn that off. Turn off the color palette. Let's try that again. Merge that. Turn that back on. There we go. Now we have a fringe layer, and I'm going to duplicate that. Keep that down here, hidden, just in case I fuck anything up with this. When it comes to lines, I would rather have multiple sections that I can work with. The hard part about this is I've got to figure out where shit intersects and where it goes up for other stuff. I hate doing this, but whatever. All right. So, like this. Be more like that. The front fringe. This area is going to be a nightmare because I've got all these other bits with the hair and shit in the way. I must admit, it's a lot easier when you have a mouse to work out where lines and shit go. Sometimes it's a lot more fluid. So, pretty much along here. Not that. I'll clean that up later. Not that. I need it to be up to there. Alright, this is why I've got like a fucking million lines coming in here. The hair is actually quite moving. I clean quite a lot of this up later. I think that's actually supposed to flick out. Not that. That's possible. That's already drawn in. That's fine as it is. Yep, just put a line there maybe. Alright, so I'm going to try to marry up those lines. Fucking hell, voice. Pick a channel and figure out what you're doing with it. Yeah, that's about right. Almost. That is the wrong button. Every so often I hit Z and Control in the wrong order, and it doesn't quite know what to do with that. The only hard part is when you end up having hair go over the face, you got to kind of like pick what ends up taking priority over the top of the actual eyes and shit. I try not to have too much